everybody. This is Dave Nassy with Next Level Guitar, and what we're going to talk about today is building the dexterity of your left hand. Woo! Party. This is super important, and I don't want to be, I don't want to make fun of such a crucial topic, but in the words of David Taub, what did you just tell me there? It is the stronger your left hand, the better tone.
The more you can do with the notes, the more tone you'll have.
Yes, exactly. So there you go.
The more you can work the notes.
You heard it from the man himself. That's it. The more you can work the notes and get some better tone, and that's what we need. A world with better tone. So I'm all about it. So we're gonna just work symmetrically across the guitar. That's gonna be pretty much the whole thing. A lot of these ideas are gonna work actually in conjunction with E minor if you want to apply them into your everyday, which is cool. But we're gonna get that pinky nice and loose and get them to stretch out and talk about some of the things that come up when we're doing these shapes. Do I want to use my middle finger? Do I want to use my ring finger in between, and all those kind of things. So, hey everybody, you know I'm gonna say it. That link in the text box below, click on that link that you see there. It will enable you to get a free lesson that is not available on YouTube. A coinciding ebook that has all kinds of scale shapes and chord diagrams that fits anything that you need in your everyday life when it comes to guitar. And all you got to do is click on the link in the YouTube text box. Again, free video and ebook, not available on YouTube. Let's start really, really simple. We're going to start up on the high E string, and again, symmetrical shapes. That's what we're going to talk about today. A lot of these things are common in rock playing, and it's very, very cool. And so what I'm going to do is start on the high E string, and we're going to do a very easy shape that is common as all get out. What we're going to talk about is going 12, 15, and 18. What happens when you put this kind of spacing between your fingers? This is what is referred to as a minor third spacing, because I've got 3 frets between each finger. I'm going to get a diminished tonality. Okay, so what we're looking to achieve here is the comfort in this distance, right? That's the whole point of this lesson. I'm just sitting here rambling away, and I've got my hands sitting here. And you can see how my pinky is pretty comfortable against the fretboard there. My middle finger's sitting comfortable. We're all good. And a lot of this initially, and to get the play to even hear these notes, that's how we're going to start with an ascending hammer-on motion, is going to come from a couple of things. It's going to come from muting out these strings with your right hand. So when you're really trying to build the strength of your pinky against the fretboard, and you're pushing hard against the fretboard, you don't get excess noise that's going to bum you out. That's a huge thing, because that happens sometimes. The other thing you want to think about is, do I want to use my middle finger or do I want to use my ring finger, right? And in this case, I have absolutely seen people use this third finger, and they are more comfortable with it, and that's totally cool. For the sake of this lesson, I'm going to start getting this pinky out here, though. So for some of you that do that, you may want to learn the comfort of doing both and making sure that you can use your middle finger. That's kind of important too. So the other thing that we want to say is, where is the thumb on the back of the fretboard? And for all your various body styles, neck shapes, all of these things, this is crucial. I'm on a Strat styled bodied guitar. I'm going to be pretty close to where the guitar or the heel of the guitar goes against the body. You know, this is not a neck through design. So I've got this right here in my whole thing. So you can see my thumb kind of turns a little bit at an angle to be able to pull that off. A lot of times people say, keep your thumb straight up and down. Well, if you do that completely, it's going to be crazy to try to pull off these licks. And you're going to feel like you're struggling and maybe even strain yourself. So your thumb typically is going to kind of tilt at a bit of an angle. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you don't have any of this happening with your hand. That's what you want to watch out for when you're playing. And a lot of times with these motions, that happens because you're trying to exaggerate just hearing what's going on. So let's dive in. And those are a couple little tips that we're going to think about, and we'll go through this. So keeping this stretch. Now I'm doing just straight basic. So important. What's happening though? First finger stays down all the time. You don't want to lift it up. You don't want that to happen. For those of you who don't have incredible hand strength quite yet, that's going to create some issues. Now, if making the hammer-on be consistent is tough, pick it. That's fine. Now, what we're going to do is work symmetrically across the guitar. So this is going to be a diminished shape for every note that is happening here on our 12th fret, right? So we're going to basically follow the notes of the guitar, or the strings of the guitar. So I'm going to pick this just to make sure it's clear. It's a cool shred lick, actually. But what we're going to do is use this just to make it so we get comfortable, again, with that stretch. So we have controlling it straight across. And just doing hammer-ons. You can do, go back up a string. Now, that does sound cool when you get it going. But what we're looking for here is just getting comfortable with the stretch. Now, for some of you who are saying, well, that in itself is crazy, man. How do I even get to that kind of a stretch? Two things that you can do. You can start off by trilling between your index finger and your middle to make sure that you can keep it really controlled. And then that pinky. Try to get the pinky the best you can. And if it's tough to even accomplish doing that, because this is just going to get your muscle memory together, you can do some different things. You can shorten the stretch a little bit, right? You don't necessarily have to go completely out to do a diminished tonality. Bring everything one fret over and then slowly start to work it in. That's the whole thing, is we're doing symmetrical shapes to get comfortable with the idea of stretching. Now, within that, which we can make it sound a bit more dramatic and make it, useful to you, where we can do a series of hammer-ons and pull-offs. So I'm starting up and back, and I'm just going to try to work that the best I can. Now I've got a sustain overdrive on my tone. Makes it easier, it does. So that's totally easy. With a clean tone, that's pretty hard to achieve really high up on the guitar, so keep that in mind. Do that on all the strings. And you're going to notice when you get to these low ones, your thumb position is completely different than how you started. Now you want to think that you want to be on top of the string as much as possible. When you get that pinky pulling away in such a wide stretch, sometimes you can hear the fifth string a little bit. So what are we achieving here? We're hopefully saying to ourselves, okay, we can get out here now, start with hammer-ons, do pull-offs, work it all the way across. What's a cool lick that we can do that kind of combines a couple of things? Picking and hammer-ons. Kind of a pick three, hammer three idea, right? So I'm going down, up, to get that hammer on. Picking three notes, hammering three. Cool lick when you get that one going. Sounds all computery and crazy, kind of Sean Lane-ish. And I loved that one in high school because I could fool everybody and make them think that I was alternate picking everything. Because I really wasn't. But it sounds like it a little bit. You can double up on it. That's kind of neat too. Yeah, a little sloppy, but you get the idea. You could do different kinds of movement within this shape. Symmetrically, we're working across the guitar. That's the whole thing. We're getting our hands to stretch out. We're getting comfortable with these kind of stretches. Now, there's great licks that can be created with them. Once your hands are already strong enough, as Dave said, you get better tone. You will find that your hands will start to do different things, that you'll try different things because you've got the comfort in this dexterity and the ability to stretch. That's really kind of what we're looking for. So let's sum this up a little bit and see how we got it. We've got 2 minor thirds between each finger. Makes a diminished tonality. Symmetrically across the guitar, we're just playing diminished for whatever note appears here, right? We started off by doing hammer-ons. We said that we could do, right? You can even ascend and work in this fashion, doing the same pattern. Just fun things to do. Pick three, hammer three. Again, pick three, hammer three. Right? That kind of motion. And again, we can think of a lot of picking things that you like to do at home within these shapes. You can pick number groups. I'll spare you the examples. You know these things. You can pick number groups. You can do all kinds of cool pull-off patterns and examples. And when you get more comfortable with it, you creep the pinky out one more fret, right? Let's just do that and we'll end it. This is going to create minor chords or minor triads now for every note that's on the 12th fret. So now I've got all the way out here to 12, 15, and 19. And I'm going to do the same kind of thing with it. I'm just going to start with this. I'm going to go down to the B string. It's kind of a cool lick all on its own. Almost reminds you of some solos by some popular rock 80s guitar players. Then you get down to here, and you just work it. Now look at what my right hand's doing. It is muting the entire time. Because I've got a lot of work going on with my left hand. I'm tired, and I need some coffee. Everybody, what do you think? I think it's good. I want to see you come back with some examples of what you've done with this. That would be kind of a cool thing to say. All right, so everybody, go to the website, enjoy working your hand out, get some Guitar-mageddon in your everyday. That's what I have to say, and I'm going to end it with that. So over 1,000 lessons on the website. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time.